We have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we are bringing balance to the world one household at a time. And we're doing that today by just letting you know that healing is technically in your fingertips. And so as we kick off, before I even do a formal introduction or anything, we're going to learn how to formally say your name. I was going to ask you backstage, but I already have the correct pronunciation. So I was like, let me just have you tell everybody, how do we formally say your name? Tell us, please.
I am Njideka Olatunde.
Njideka Olatunde. Okay. All right, everybody. So we have that. Njideka Olatunde is here with us today. And as we kick off, I want you all to grab your virtual seats, invite people to be a part of this conversation, and let's learn about Dr. Njideka Olatunde, the visionary, and she is definitely the visionary and creative energy behind Focus on Healing Wellness Institute. She's an accomplished naturopath and a leading authority in the cultural integration of traditional health practices with conventional medicine for mind, body, and emotional wellness. She's an author, an acclaimed thought leader, podcast host, master reflexologist, pain relief educator, and consultant who has helped thousands with chronic pain. Chronic pain, y'all. Okay, chronic pain is very important. And especially when people are dealing with addiction and being medication free, that pain relief treatment that she's going to be able to talk to us about as an alternative to being able to addressing the opioid epidemic plaguing our communities. So, holistic health and wellness practitioner is her title. And today our discussion is going to surround relieving pain and stress and it just being a fingertip away. So let's welcome Dr. Olatunde to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be able to share information with your listeners.
Thank you. Thank you. So your name, tell us what's the meaning behind your name. I want to at least know that because I had that question as a burning question for me.
Njideka is life is supreme. Olatunde is happiness comes again.
So life is supreme and happiness comes from within. So you are bringing great light and joy to everyone because you're getting inside of our hearts in some capacity, technically speaking.
Technically, that's what it's all about.
All right. Okay, so you're also the visionary, if you would talk to us, because you're the visionary behind Focusing on Healing Wellness Institute. And I wanted to understand from you, what inspired you to even create that movement? And even if you want, take us back on your backstory some in your journey, where you've come from to bring you to this point.
All right, let me see how to fast forward my life experiences.
It's a lot of life experiences, right?
Oh, definitely. But to begin with, as a child, I grew up where doctors came to your home. You didn't go to the doctor, because doctors lived in your neighborhood. So they came to your home. And so as a child, seeing the doctor, when someone in the family became ill, I said, oh, wow, that's what I want to do when I grow up, because I saw them, they were healers.
Right.
And so by the time I went through the whole educational process and I got to school, I realized, I said, this is not what I thought I was going to learn. So I had to change my career and I became a social worker.
Okay.
So as a social worker, I covered the whole gambit, everything from infants to seniors and whatever the social service issue was, I did it. I did the whole gambit. of social work. But one of the things that really disturbed me was that the clients that I was serving, they were always going to the emergency room for their health care. I said, well, something's wrong with this picture.
Right.
And all of a sudden, that energy came back up. Oh, I want to be a doctor. But what happened was it came at a time when things were changing and natural and alternative therapies were coming to the forefront.
Okay.
So that opened the door for me to go back to school and train to become a naturopathic practitioner, which was along the lines of what I wanted to do. But doing that process, one of the things that happened was that because I was interested in traditional and cultural approaches to health and wellness, I started Focus on Healing Wellness Institute. And it was really nothing but an information provider.
Interesting.
Alternative and complementary approaches to healthcare. So when people wanted information, I did the research and would send them and connect them with practitioners. So that's really how that started. And from a therapeutic approach, I had studied reflexology. And I knew that before I started becoming a naturopathic practitioner. So that was something I added to my practice. And that's what kind of drove the wheel into all that I do today, and focusing specifically on looking at how to relieve pain without medication. And that's been my journey.
So see, you're going to turn this into a whole personal counseling session. I'm going to try my best, Dr. Olatunde, to stay focused. But I recently had this whole incident. I'm not going to talk about it in great detail, but when I had the incident, my body locked up, and I have been, and when I say excruciating pain, and I realized that, when the medication is on board, then I'm like, hey, rocking and rolling, feeling like I'm on top of the world. But when I don't take that medication, my body is in turmoil. What? You really are heavily focused on people taking back control of being pain-free. What does that really mean from your perspective as a holistic practice?
I love that question. And I love how you led into it, talking about your body's experience with pain and with medication. So let me kind of share something with you and your listening audience about one of the things that we don't focus on, and that's called the pain-stress connection. You don't have pain without stress, and you don't have stress without pain. And we never connect the two. But it's the pain-stress connection.
The pain-stress connection. Y'all type this so you can have it for your notes later. The pain-stress connection. Okay.
And in order to get to the healing, once you understand the pain-stress connection, then it's connected to the mind, body, spirit connection for your healing.
Okay, so you're going to have to break that down a little bit more.
That's the process. And I'm going to explain what it is. That's the process.
Okay.
See, because we don't focus on pain and stress.
Okay.
And when I'm talking about pain and stress, let me explain what that is. Whenever we are in pain, it's a result of stress. And stress happens with something outside of your body that you bring inside and internalize it. And once it gets inside, it has to find a way to release itself. And when it's looking for a way to release itself, it's going to attack whatever area in your body is a weak spot, and it's trying to come out that way. And that's not the normal channels of eliminating stress from the body. So it winds up. So you may have back pain, you may have a headache, you may have a joint ache, you may have some type of pain, but that's because of stress. And to bring it together, when I talk about the mind, body, spirit connection in the healing process of relieving pain and stress, this is what I have put together. I have what I call in my practice relieving pain first before
relieving pain
treatment.
first.
Before treatment. And let me tell you what that is. When you go to the store to buy something, you know exactly what it is you want to buy. You'll go down the aisle and pick whatever the product is, and go to the counter and pay for it because you bought what you wanted. Here's another example. When your car breaks down or is having malfunction, you automatically go to the mechanic and say, the engine light is on or my car is vibrating, I'm leaking oil or whatever. And the
go for a specific reason.
The mechanic is mechanically trained to understand exactly what you're asking them to do to solve the problem. Now, when you go to your doctor with that same mindset of how you took your car to the mechanic, you go to the doctor with the same mindset of your body. Doctor, I'm in pain. My back is hurting. My head is hurting. I'm having all kinds of serious problems with my body related to pain. How can you relieve it? So what is the first thing the doctor's going to tell you? We have to do some tests to find out what it is. But in the meantime, here's a prescription to relieve your pain.
Okay, y'all. I'm gonna have to put her over here in a minute. Wait, okay. We're gonna have to put Dr. Olatunde up here so y'all can lean in on what she's saying. Y'all should be leaning in. That is such a good. Go back. So don't even go back. Don't even go forward without recapping what you just said, because that's so important.
The thing that happened was because, remember now, you came into the doctor for what reason? Pain relief. That's all you wanted. You weren't interested in anything else but being relieved of the pain. So what the doctor did was say, I can't help you until I get the test. So when I get the test back, then we can put a treatment plan together in terms of what's causing the pain. But in the meantime, here's a prescription to relieve the pain. Now, that is what I call not effective, because when my clients come to me, I focus specifically on relieving pain first before treatment. And this is how I do it.
Come on.
The first form of treatment begins with the power of touch. And when I say touch, I'm not talking about it has to be physical, because touch is mental, touch is emotional, touch is spiritual. And even touch is financial. So you have to understand that healing begins with the power of touch, which I'll explain in later how that operates. But touch is the first form of healing. Now, what is the touch technique that I use? The first touch technique I use is called listening. I'm letting my clients tell me about their pain. And as I'm listening to them talk about their pain and what's going on, I'm not listening for where the pain is. What I'm listening for, where is the stress that's connected to the pain.
Girl, I don't have no drop the mic. I don't have no drop the mic sound, but I do have this one right. Yes.
And once I hear what the stress is, now what we can do is move to what I call is the next form of touch, which is the physical, which is the reflexology that's used to relieve the pain. because I did one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I listen. I allow my clients to talk about what's going on. That was the stress factor that
Right.
now has them in pain. So by listening, they're now what? And they heard themselves talk. See, that's the other thing.
Right.
They heard what they were saying. And so now it puts
Mm.
them in a situation where I'm open and receptive.
Okay. Okay.
Because now what have I done? I've taken the mind off of feeling the pain. So now when I do the reflexology,
Mm-hmm.
the mind is now
That's
able
good.
to send the
That's good.
body's natural pain relievers
Mm,
to that area
mm.
to start relieving the pain.
That's good. That's good.
And once
Mm.
we relieve the pain, now we talk about what is the treatment. Because as I was listening for the stress, did I hear that all of a sudden
Mm.
you may need to see a massage therapist because we got something going on in the muscles?
Mm.
You may need to do yoga because we now got to look at how do we bring stretching into our lives as an exercise program.
That's
You
good.
may need nutrition. We may need cleansing. You may need to see an acupuncture because we got to look at what nerve ending specifically is activating so that it's not calming down. See, this is what we call integrative approach. We have 11 systems of the body that
Okay.
need different things. So you cannot just say this one thing is what you are to use to relieve whatever's going on. It does not work. The other thing we have to understand is that we are all different. Our
All
chemical
different.
composition is different. So,
That's
which
right.
means that that's why I focus on the cultural connection to the healing process. We got to look at who we are culturally. When
Mm.
you think about that, go to that oldest person in your family and start
Yes.
asking them about what did they do when they had this or had that. Those
Right.
old home remedies work.
Mm. Mm.
If it worked back then, it will still work today.
You
But
better
because
believe it.
our mindset has been changed
Mhm.
to the quick fix solution, we have now stolen from our body its natural ability to heal itself. You're not supposed to be in pain.
Hmm.
You're not supposed to be suffering.
Hmm.
It's all inside of you. That's why I always tell my clients, here's a little nugget I'm dropping for you. You have to understand
Mm.
that when you go to your doctor, a doctor's only responsibility is to assist you
Right.
in the healing process. You are the healer, not the doctor.
Mm.
Healing comes from within. So
Mm.
when you have a connection with your body, understanding your body, and start talking to your doctor about what's going on with your
That's
body,
good.
the doctor is to assist you in finding the relief that you need for wellness.
That's some
That is
good.
crucial.
That is very crucial because I'm a big believer that, listen, we take our own situation there. They are practicing medicine and saying that this is what I believe is going to work for you, but you have to be an advocate and speak up about what's going on within your own body, because maybe they're on point, maybe they may not be on point, but that's such as life. Anybody can be slightly off, but until we
Mhm.
understand exactly what is being fully presented, then we can come up with a solution. But how can you? I went to a doctor one time and I love doctors, so I'm not at all
Mhm.
bashing any doctors.
Mhm.
I love
Mhm.
everybody using their gifts and their talents. But I went to
Yes.
a doctor, Dr. Olatunde, one time, and I was like, this doctor didn't even ask my name or anything. Just because you're a specialist, you're going to tell me that I am actually going to have to need this procedure. Well, you don't even know my first and last name other than just by some my chart situation. Let's get to know each other better before we get into some
It's
kind of
important.
procedure. And I
It's
reject
very
the procedure.
important.
I'm not doing that. I don't even know you. You don't know me. Hi, my name is
Mhm.
Kim. What's your name? I'm
Mhm.
seeing you for
Mhm.
the first time and you're getting ready to refer me. I said, how about this? Let's try whatever you think would work. If I had to have that procedure, let's test that out and we'll determine if that worked. And then if the procedure is still necessary or not.
But see, you hit on something that's real crucial. Remember, I said you have 11 systems in the body,
Right.
and each system has its own unique function, and each system has its own requirement
Mhm.
for nourishment and for cleansing.
Mm.
When you and see, we have no knowledge, we don't connect with our body and its system. And I'm going to share an example with you. Here's an exercise for you.
Okay, come on, role play with me.
If somebody said that they were having difficulty breathing, what would be the first thought that came to your mind? They're having difficulty breathing. What would that say to you about the body?
What it would say to me is that
Mm.
there's some level of stress and anxiety, but I used to teach stress management seminars.
Mhm.
So I would
Yes.
tell people, let's do some, deep breathing
But
exercise.
okay, but when you do that, if somebody says I'm having, difficulty breathing and what system of the body would you
Oh, we think
connect
the
that with?
heart. We think the heart typically, right?
No.
Oh, I
Listen.
don't know. I don't think any of that. All I think is that you get a
No, but
chance.
you're good. The reason why I'm saying that, because if somebody's talking about breathing and difficulty breathing, it's the respiratory system. And
Oh, I
what's
didn't know that.
inside the respiratory system? What organs are inside the respiratory system?
Yeah, so I would think that, well, I have 3 children with lung disease diagnosis,
That's the key.
so that's why I already know the answers to that.
No, but that's what I wanted. What I'm leading up to is whenever the doctor tells you that
Mhm.
you have a particular, well, you got something going on, like you're having cardiac arrest, or you're having body tremors.
Right.
Always the first thought that needs to come to mind is what system of the body is stressed out now, and what organ inside that system is asking for help.
Yeah.
That's where you start.
That's
When
the
you
whole
start
of the
from
matter.
that perspective, now you can start asking specific questions related to the diagnosis that the doctor has given to you.
Right.
That's how you start taking back control, showing that you are connected with your body. Oh, you say I have asthma. So that means my respiratory system is having problems.
Right.
That means something's going on in my lungs. So, what is it I need to be doing to bring healthiness back to my respiratory system and my lungs?
Mhm.
It's little small things like
That's good.
that
That's good.
that you look at. Oh, you're saying I have hypertension. That means there's something going on in my circulatory system. And
Yes.
that means the organ in my heart is having problems. What
Stress.
do I need? That's how you have to start thinking. So when you think like that, you are the one who is becoming the healer.
That's
You are the one that's asking your practitioner to assist you in the healing process, because that's what they're supposed to know. They're supposed to know the anatomy of the body and its operation.
Mhm.
The key, this is the key.
Come on.
It's called nutrition.
Nutrition is the key. Somebody type
Is
that.
the
Nutrition.
key, because that's meaning that the body is not getting the nutrients, or it's not getting the cleansing that it needs to operate in its fullest. So
That's
it
good.
winds up in a health challenge situation.
This is so good. I'm over here typing too, like I'm in class. Girl, I'm typing so fast. You're like, okay, you really are gifted, Kim. You over there running the broadcast, typing. I'm like, I don't know if y'all taking notes, but I'm taking lots of notes over here. Okay. then trying to make sure I type your name right, Ella. Okay, I'm like, Lord, please don't let me miss anything. But nutrition is the key because our body is asking for something that is lacking or missing. And what do you, when you say the mind body connection, the mind body spirit connection, why would that be so critical in the healing process? Because you're connecting all of the dots together in a very universal approach.
That's another excellent question. And I'm going to tell you what that's all about, which ties into what I do called reflexology.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring it so you'll see all the pieces together. There are two entities in the body that we don't focus on. And they are, first is the body system known as the nervous system.
Okay.
Your nervous system is the one that has all of the nerve endings that are connected to each of the 11 systems of the body, that are connected to all the cells in the body, that are connected to all the ligaments, the joints, the bones, muscles, and all of that.
Okay.
And what the nervous system does that people don't understand, it is the message center. It is the lifeline to the message center of the body, which is your brain, which is the communication center. The nerves receive the messages from all of these entities and sends it directly to the brain and say, all right, the kidneys need this, the heart's in need of this, and the brain releases what is needed. That's the process. So if ever you get a chart of the anatomy and look at the nervous system, you'll see how all the nerve endings begin in your head and run straight through your body with ending points in your hands, feet, and ears. That's where reflexology comes in. We work on removing the blockages in the nerve endings that are found on the hands, the feet, and the ears. Remember, when you open, healing is at your fingertips. That's where it begins. It begins with reflexology, which is the art and science of working specific reflex nerve ending points that are found on the hands, the feet, and the ears to relieve stress, improve circulation, remove toxins from the body, and bring relaxation and balance. That's the process.
I was trying to put an image up, but that there, that is a very descriptive process, just showing how all of the dots are connected together. Then it makes more logical sense when we're going in to talk to the physicians or to the medical practitioners or the holistic. It doesn't matter really whether it's holistic, a medical, anybody that you're talking to about your body. You need to be able to be your own advocate to say, this is what's happening, and take a moment to listen to me so that we can come up with a solution that works best for me.
There you go. That's the plan.
I love
that. That is the plan. And to expound a little bit more about reflexology to help your listeners understand what it is and how it operates.
Okay.
Think of in your house when the electricity goes out. Now we have what called the circuit breaker. You go flip the switch, electricity comes back on. But if you flip the switch and electricity doesn't come back on, that means there's a wiring problem. So you have to call the electrician to come in, and they'll reconnect the wires that electricity can happen. That's what a reflexologist does. We work the wiring of the body, which are your nerve endings. And when we reconnect, that's why we're looking for what we call stress in the nerve endings. And we do, if you take your little thumb, you thumb like this, and you do this little bending up and down motion with your thumb on the nerve endings of your hands and your feet. This is how we relieve and move that blockage out so that the messages can flow in terms of the brain being about sending the natural pain relief known as endorphins into that area, which is chemical free. Because when you open up and talked about if you take the medication, you're fine. But when you don't take the medication, the problem. This is what's going on. Medication numbs the nerve endings, so the nerve endings cannot deliver messages to the brain to do what the brain needs to do to relieve pain.
You know what? You don't want to be on a. You don't want to be on an episode and you get angry by the time you get done. You be like this. What is happening to me? Because that literally is what's happening. It's numbing. It's masking the problem. And so anybody that's tuning in today, listen, we're talking with Dr. Olatunde, and she's talking to us about how important it is to have healing be at our fingertips, and knowing that we can be an advocate for ourselves when we're talking with our medical physicians, our whole holistic approach practitioners. And she believes in connecting the mind, body, and the spirit all together. So if you're just tuning in, that's what's happening here. And we'd love for you to be able to ask your questions as well. I'm getting quite a few of my questions answered. So thank you for doing that. What happens when we treat only the physical part of the body, but we ignore the emotional and the spiritual wellness from your perspective?
That's where you have a real serious problem. And I say that to say, because you cannot, in allopathic, known as conventional medicine, they break the body up into bits and pieces in terms of putting together treatment plans. You can't do that because the body is a whole. Right. You can't separate the physical from the mental, from the emotional, from the spirit. You can't do that because it's not balanced. Holistically, you have to look, because see, when I'm looking at the body, I'm not just looking at your physical pain.
Right.
I'm looking at the stress that here's something that we all don't talk about. And I'm going to put this on the table right now, once and for all.
Come on, y'all.
We are in a real crisis right now. And the crisis that we're in is causing serious challenges to our mind, our body, and our spirit. And the reason being is because what? We only know how to get what? A physical checkup. But have you thought about getting a mental checkup? Mind needs attention just like the physical. It's a part of the physical body. Right. The mind also needs to be able to have a checkup. So when you check up on the mind, you're now able to see why the physical is having problems, because I'm dealing with some what? Emotional issue that's inside the mind. I also may be dealing with some spiritual issues that's inside the mind. So you got to look at all of that, because that's the big picture to what's going on with you health-wise as it relates to challenges. See, that goes back to what I said, the cultural connection.
That's right.
That's our cultural connection in terms of healing. We cannot separate. All of that goes together. It's glued together, and there's no way to separate it. And when we do separate it, that's why we're having these out of balance experiences. Yes. What do you think that the people that are dealing with being disconnected in some component, how do they go about regaining balance? Because I do believe that even sometimes when we're out of balance, it's a season that we may be going through in our lives that make us be in that moment, but God knew we were going to be in that moment too. So I don't feel like we're out of balance for real. We're in whatever God's will is for that season of our lives. How do you recommend people restore balance, since we're talking about how to balance your life on this show? Okay. I'm going to talk about something that we don't talk about.
Okay, come on.
It's mindset. We do not talk about our health and money mindset, which is the corporate of all of the challenges we face. And what I call it, I call it the title, it's called financial pain is the number one health problem that we have,
That's good.
because we don't connect health and money in terms of healing and wellness. Because you hear me always talk about things in twos, because twos is about balance. It's the yin yang, it's the positive,
Right.
it's the negative. That's how we have to look at life, in terms of when you look at that two, balancing the scales, and you put that together. How do I balance this?
Yes.
If I'm having financial problems, it affects my health. If I'm having health problems, it's connected to not having the finances to be able to maintain the health and wealth. The two go hand in hand. You can't separate it. You have to understand that and look at, how do I deal with my mindset in relationship to health and money.
Oh, y'all. Somebody, I'm gonna have to research how to do a drop the mic, some kind of thing, because it's right here. Connecting the financial health and wellness to our physical health and wellness. A lot of stress is coming and overflowing from what people are dealing with financially.
Wow. That's the number one health problem. That's the number one. And I'm going to tell you, this is the motto of Focus on Healing. I'm going to share this with you.
Come on.
Health is wealth. Wealth is health. It's your birthright to have both. So why did you give it away?
Somebody type that. It is our birthright
to have both. We should not be struggling one with the other. You're supposed to have both. You were divinely created to have both, but it's about mindset. We've got to look at our mindset. And once we understand our mindset, now we're able to, what I call, take back control of your life from health and money stress. And now you have the universal blessing of health and wealth that you were born to have.
Oh, you know how people are like, oh, Gina. Oh, no. That's some good stuff right there. So the physical pain that people are experiencing is coming sometimes from unprocessed emotions and issues and things like that. So, okay. I'm trying to think of what direction to go in here, because there's so many different directions. One of the things I was thinking about is that when we're talking about relieving pain and stress, and it's just a fingertip away, what does that mean from your own wording? Because I know we put that as the show title, but what does that mean when you're describing it from your perspective?
Okay, first of all, we'll get back to reflexology, and that'll help your listeners understand what I'm really talking about.
Let's go. Reflexology.
Because when you're talking about, and what I want your listeners to know,
come on,
everybody who's hearing me, you have experienced reflexology and don't know that you have. If you are a parent, or if you can remember back when you were a child, and some person came up to you and did this little thing called "This Little Piggy Went to the Market."
Oh yeah, okay. Let me put
that was your first introduction to reflexology. Because all of the nerve endings in the toes and in your fingers to the head. All of the nerve endings to your head are in your toes and in your fingers. And so when they were doing "This Little Piggy Went to the Market," and "This Little Piggy Stayed Home," for that baby, what you were stimulating were the nerve endings in the head to bring about relaxation, to bring about calmness. And the baby may have gone to sleep, may have just giggled, and it just calmed them down.
That's good.
That was your first introduction.
Okay.
The second one, to show you about how reflexology works. Say, for example, you hit that little funny bone on your elbow.
Oh yeah.
What is usually the first thing you're going to do?
You cry,
Okay, crying, or you
laugh.
want laugh, or the first thing what you just said is called what? A verbal response. It can be
Right, right.
nice or it can be not so nice. But the first thing you hit, verbal response. Once you hit it, the nerve ending automatically sends a message to the brain. Trauma in the elbow. Then what's the
Right.
second thing you're going to do?
The second thing that,
rubbing it.
oh yeah, immediately, like trying to
You're
get
going to start rubbing it. When you rub it, message goes through the nerve ending back up to the brain. Relief is needed. Brain then sends what's known as natural pain relievers, the endorphins, to that area, and all of a sudden you start feeling better. The pain starts subsiding. And if you're a parent and to a child, you're going to kiss it.
Oh yeah.
And that makes it feel better. All of that was transmitted through the nerve endings to the brain. That's the process of reflexology.
Okay.
So for example, here I have my hand out like this. And if you are anxious or you are in pain, you do not know where the particular nerve ending is on your hand that's related to the area that's in pain. But all you have to do is take your thumb from your wrist and just do a walking. And what you're doing, you're walking across the palm of your hand all the way to the base of your fingers. Just doing a walking. And on the back of your hand, your four fingers are moving.
Oh yeah.
Your thumb on the back. And whenever you're feeling stress or discomfort, get in the habit of grabbing your hand.
Okay. Wait.
And just start walking with your thumb.
Put your hand up. Okay.
And with the back of your hand and with your thumb, just going across. And then remember.
I felt a crack in my head when I just did this. So it's stuff communicating.
Then what you do, remember, the next thing with that is take a deep breath. Inhale and then release it. This will calm you down. And once you get calm, the pain subsides. You got to have that calmness because you cannot begin a healing process without relaxation. And the relaxation begins with stimulating those nerve endings to send the message to the brain.
I don't even do that to myself every day. This is necessary, y'all.
Because you got to remember, your feet and your hands do most of the work, and they're the most neglected. We never take care. We never pay attention to them.
Oh,
we just expect them to do.
I know we could take a commercial break or something. I don't know what to tell y'all, but this right here, this is some.
But it's just that. Look, just that is how to get started. And let me share something with your listeners.
Wow.
If you have any children in your household, share that with them. And now you have your own pain reliever inside your house whenever you're experiencing pain, because the best pain relievers are children. Because I do a class where I teach young people how to do reflexology as a form of relieving stress, because that's another issue that's very important to me. Is the most stressed people on the planet right now are our young people.
Oh my God.
And guess what? We know how to do little things to relieve ourselves, but we're not sharing with our young people things that they can do to bring about relief in their stressful lives. And the way to do it is something simple as the power of touch with your fingertips.
And so why is this important? The power of touch is important even before any treatment happens, because I know we kind of
because if you're in pain, remember I said relieve pain first before treatment. We got to address the pain that caused you to seek treatment. That's where the reflexology comes in. And I'm in favor of people learning how to do it themselves. And the reason being is because you want to be in control of your healing process. And to understand this,
That's good.
healing is a family issue. We've got to stop looking at one member of our family has a health problem. That one member in the family with the health problem affects the whole family. It's a family affair. That's why I wrote the book, Reflexology Today, a family affair that shows you from infants to seniors how to bring the family together using reflexology as a pain relief guide first before you seek treatment.
This is good. Okay. Okay. I mean, especially with the opioid crisis that's happening, this is almost like something that can be a replacement if people can get it in their homes some kind of way. Any thoughts on that? Because it's taking over. It's like a pandemic status type of thing. What are your thoughts on that?
That's another excellent question because that's what led me to create Relieve Pain First. I lost a lot of clients.
Okay.
A lot of family members, a lot of colleagues who were dealing with excruciating pain. And all of a sudden, the prescription ran out and could not be renewed for the pain problems. So then they started seeking street pain relief. And with the street pain relief, along with taking family members' pain medication, created other serious health problems that compounded the medication they were taking for the initial pain problem. And I started really doing research and studying the connection between touch and pain.
Okay.
And that's how it came about where I said, let's look at relieving pain first before treatment, which means I have to get into what is the stress factor with the first form of touch being listening, and then from there putting the hands on with the reflexology. It's about mindset changing. It's helping people understand that I am here to assist you.
Okay.
I'm moving you out of thinking that it's a quick fix because how you got in pain did not happen overnight. So how can you expect pain relief to happen overnight? It's a process. The body gave you a warning.
Wow.
It gave you a pain that, okay, it's a little uncomfortable, but I'll deal with it. The body says, okay, you didn't respond when I was giving you a warning, so I'm coming back a little forceful. Ooh, this is real serious. Let me go get some over-the-counter medication so I can kind of, like, numb this area.
Right.
Okay. The body says, you're still not listening to me. So now I'm going to take you out. I'm taking you down. And then you come with the excruciating pain that leads you to the doctor because now what? The over-the-counter medication, the stress has created a health challenge inside of you that now gets a diagnosis as an illness that now we're treating with medication on top of all the other stuff. That's the process. And once we understand the process, you got to put yourself in there. You've got to be a part of the process. And to be a part of the process is understanding and paying attention to your body. When you get that first pain warning, don't dismiss it. Focus on it. Look at it. And then when you get that first initial pain movement, think about, what was I doing that caused me to be in pain? What was I thinking about that all of a sudden now I got this pain? Look at that. and pay attention to it. Don't dismiss it. Just pay attention to it.
So go to the root of the problem, get to the
And
root cause
yes, and
of the
start looking.
situation.
Okay, now is it coming back a little forceful? Is it still connected with what I was thinking about? Is it still connected with what I'm doing? It's a process.
That's good.
Follow the process.
And then try to
healing.
eliminate what the root cause of it. Because I know there are some situations that when my son passed away, I was having physical pain in my chest. And I told my family, I had a meeting and everything. And I said, listen, if I die, because I feel like I could die. And if I die, it's because it was something to do with my heart being broken, because I felt like it was literally broken.
There it is.
And that was a real pain. So I could look at what the root of it was, and I communicated it to other people, but I couldn't figure out how to get out of it, you know? And I was like, well, God, I'm just going to come to you more and go to church.
But see, that's another thing too, is understanding the grieving process. That's a process. And no matter how it is, it's something you have to go through. And people have to be supportive and understanding that it's the grieving process. And we can't say, oh, look here, Kim, you know, okay, it's been X number of months, time to stop all this. No. It may take years for some people, but you have to be allowed to go through that, because it's about releasing the physical. So you now can connect to the spiritual essence of that person in your life. That's what the process is really all about. And for some, it can happen faster. For some, it may take longer, but it's a process. Everything is a process.
Everything is a process. And I'm so glad we're taking this time today to just talk at the level that we are, because I believe it's really going to be helpful to people that's here watching and that will share the broadcast with other friends. But I saw here too that according to the Federal Communications Commission, that 224 Americans pass away each day due to this opioid epidemic. And that's just in 2025 alone. We need to gain control of this. But you talked a lot too about the cultural connection and how important that is in the healing process. How does that correlate with everything that you're saying today in your messaging?
Because we have forgotten how to be family. We have forgotten how to be a community. And because we've forgotten how to be a family and a community, we are dealing with challenges that are not normal for us. Once we get back to understanding that, okay, when it comes to family, you got to move that ego thing out. They are your family members. And understand this too. Family members are not just biological. We have what's called extended family members.
That's right.
And that's a part of family. Get a family-based connection. I don't care what it is. Create a family-based connection. That's your support network. Create a family-based connection that becomes your community. That's your support connection. That's who we are as a people. That's how we heal. That's how we take back control of our health and our finances.
That's good.
As we build a family and community connection. That's the nugget. Think on it, dissect it, focus on it, and make it real in your life so that you can once again have the health is wealth and the wealth is health. That is your birthright. It can only happen when you reconnect with family and community. It's not going to happen without that. Remember, I said the process.
The process.
You have to focus on the process.
Okay. This is good. This is focus on the process, y'all. Don't worry about trying to connect all the dots individually yourself. Just focus on going through the process and making sure you take the right steps to connect the cultural, spiritual, health, financial health and wealth, all of that. This is some good stuff. And I wanted to put this book up because I did find that on the focusonhealing.com pages. Those are your books, right? So Reflexology, Today, A Family Affair. If you want to get a digital copy, it's only $27, and you can get a digital ebook. It's filled with nuggets of information that will be transformative for you and your family. Just learning this one tip today you don't even know how much stress it took off of me, just sitting here rubbing my hand, the palm of my hand with my finger, and then the other part massaging. That's a game changer. I'm gonna do that every day.
Well, thank you for sharing. And for those of you who want the hard copy book, let me tell you what I have with that. When you purchase the hard copy book, you get a session with me to work with you in terms of how to use the book for any health or wellness problem that you may be facing. So that's how that goes together.
Okay, so for only literally $79, you guys, you get a chance to get a one-on-one session with this mastermind who is here sharing her gifts and talents here on the Kim Jacobs Show, for us to be able to bring balance to your household. You're right in the comfort of your home, and you are hearing from this expert who is sharing free gifted advice to you. That is mind-blowing to me. So thank you. How do people stay connected with you, Dr. Olatunde?
First of all, I want to share something with you.
Yes.
That's very important. I thank you and your listeners for this time that we have spent together. And what I want to share with you, in the African tradition, you never come to somebody's home without bringing a gift. And I bring a gift to you and your listeners. I have created a poster of 121 ways to relieve pain and stress, medication free. And all you have to do is go to Reflexology.com and download the poster. Reflexology.com.
Okay.
And you download the poster, and it's yours with some tips that you can have readily available in terms of relieving pain and stress.
Wow. Listen, y'all. Okay. Yeah, this woman, first of all, you all may not know this, but she has some fun facts about her. She loves hanging out with young people, and she also has a desire to have winter homes in Africa, Australia, and Southern Asia. What drew you to those regions specifically, spiritually and culturally? Tell us.
Because it's warm. I don't like living in cold weather. I want 365 warm weather.
I think I might be alongside you on that, because I was like, wait a minute, it's a little bit too cold today. Touchology, reflexology.com. Touchology, reflexology.com, and you can download over 100 ways to have some pain relief, right?
Yes.
It's a poster that she is gifting to our audience. So y'all make sure you share this broadcast with everyone that you believe would benefit from having this downloadable poster. Thank you for this wonderful gift. I appreciate you taking the time to do that.
I thank you for having me. And I want to leave your listeners with this one little tidbit to remember as you're putting together your healing process.
Yes.
Always remember that it is the power of touch that heals all.
The power of touch that heals all. The power of touch that heals all. The power of touch that heals all. So if someone's watching right now and they're in chronic pain, what's that first thing that they can do when they get off of today's episode that would help them relieve that pain right away, in your opinion?
First of all, take a deep breath, and then grab the palm of your hand and start reflexing the palm of your hand with your thumb and with the back of it, and just breathe. And the other thing that's real important as you're doing this, see and feel healing taking place, because you're in control of it using the power of touch.
So see it and take control of it and visualize the healing in your body, because you can help direct some of that with our own mental status and our own mental mindset. That's good. And so every household that's here today, when we think about healing, if there was one message that you had to give, because you've given a lot of them, I don't even know. I'm gonna let you think about that for 1 second while I just say this. Listen, everybody, I encourage you, because we're gonna close out on Dr. Olatunde's comment, but I want you to please take a moment. We bring the Kim Jacobs Show into your home Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a full hour. It takes a good amount of effort, energy, and we go the extra mile to make sure that we bring you some balance into your house, so that it might be that missing piece of the puzzle that helps your family get just a little bit better, or in my opinion, a lot better, as a result of the guests that we bring on here. So if you have not taken a moment to pour into, to donate, to contribute financially to our broadcast, please take a moment and do so today. And it does not matter what the amount is. And I don't like saying no amount's too small, no amount's too great. Whatever God puts in your heart to send over to the Kim Jacobs Show, take a moment and do that right after today's broadcast. And we'll be happy to continue to just acknowledge our supporters. We greatly appreciate you all. And there are ways to do it on audio, because I know y'all are listening on audio and you're not seeing this. It's paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. It's also on Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. If you want to be a Patreon member, we go backstage and put content that you never see anywhere else. And that's patreon.com/the Kim Jacobs Show. Or you can Zelle or Apple Cash using the phone number 704-962-7161. And I thank you all for your support. What's your closing comment, Dr. Olatunde?
My closing comment is to always remember who you are. And when I say remember who you are, think about this. Is your body a temple or a warehouse? If your body is a temple, it's something sacred and you value it. If it's a warehouse, it's something you store stuff in. And that's not who we are. So remember, honor yourselves as the temple that's sacred, using the power of touch.
Well, you have been the heartbeat of the Kim Jacobs Show today, and we appreciate you being here. This blessing. We are blessed and better because of your presence today. So thank you so much for blessing us with your presence. And listen, thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. And today we did that with Dr. Olatunde. She blessed us in a mighty way. We're better because of her being here. God bless you all, and I'll see you all Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay backstage, Dr. Olatunde. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show, and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you, and make it a great day.